Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. First and foremost, Kal Halalim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ruchai Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well and labor in this word and doctrine. So, I'm going to do this video on Matt Walsh. Well, to be specific, Matt Walsh is this guy, by the way. This guy with the glasses in his thumbnail here. And he made a documentary going around and asking, various different individuals, some people who had, done the whole changing of kind, okay, who had done things that certain people of the alphabet community do, and certain people who are considered experts, people, who are allegedly educated on this topic. As you can see from this title, it says the not so bright gender studies professor. All right, so this individual, you're going to see, though he's a professor, he's an absolute fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot, man. These people who claim to be, renowned people, even if they don't claim, that people are claiming them to be. People have put them in a seat of authority to teach people, make people pay all this money to go into a place of education to be educated by these fucking idiots. It's crazy, man. This world's fucked, and motherfuckers might sit there and tell you, but then this shit doesn't even. They gloss past like things like how fucked up these so-called, I won't even say the word just in case. I mean, it ain't gonna be a filter. I'll say it, man. These so-called universities ain't shit, man. Going to university is not gonna make you shit. Okay? Yeah, sometimes you have to go and all this shit with certain circumstances, but as you know, brothers, for the most part, we're just trying to better our circumstances. I'm trying to really strive for some fantastic job at the most, the best form of education. Right? Because these people in so-called, M to the E to the D school, okay? These people who are so-called, docs, and we look up the word doctor, it means teacher. Right? The people who claim to be such, all right, they're not supposed to be teaching shit, saying shit, giving you fucking advice for shit, man. But I'll play the video, and of course, scriptures will be brought out.
What we do in gender studies is not just reduce gender to what psychologists might call individual differences, but rather thinking about gender. That's not women and man, but gender as a social form, something that kind of infuses itself into virtually all aspects of social life.
This guy's so deep, dude. Just keep playing, man.
Let's talk about that then. I guess we should start with, we've got gender and sex, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference between the two? Is there a difference?
I saw that in your questions, and I thought, my goodness, this is what we spend an entire semester kind of thinking through. But what we...
A fucking whole semester? You fucking idiots, man. A whole fucking semester. Let's keep playing, man.
Tend to think about in the social sciences today is that sex refers to a set of biological characteristics, and gender is a social construct or category.
We've heard that shit before. And, I'm not going to bring out this video. Matt Walsh, because I was looking for clips to bring in this video regarding Matt Walsh's stuff. One of them was a speech he did. And he talks about people like John Money and Alfred Kinsey. And these individuals, these are like some origins, or what, like I should say, this brings back origins of things of relevant to ideology of the gen to the der. Okay, the whole thing. This is the ideology. This whole concept of the ideology around the Western world. These are the people who brought it, because of course this shit has been around, man. Okay, if I'm gonna bring a scripture on that, I actually did. I quoted it when I was making mention of what Matt Walsh's actual, what his documentary is actually about. But I'm gonna bring it out. But these individuals, they had brought this to they laid the foundation for this to be such a thing in the Western world. And the foundation of that is very wicked. You can go into it. I haven't got into too much into it. I just heard that speech. But if you brothers want to go into it, perhaps somebody could make a video on it if they see it. If not, obviously, it's a bit annoying to I didn't go through it because I didn't necessarily want to read all that kind of stuff because it's just so fucked up, man. But you know, that's the origins, man. It's all dark shit. It's all wicked, fucked up shit, man. But you see, that's the whole point of that's the whole point. These how do I say it? It's lucky I'm not really getting the words out. The foundation was laid already for it to be fucked up. And you can see all the fucked up. You see all the suicides, all the people getting all fucked up from it. All depressed, as they say. All right, regretting such surgeries. Okay. From the foundation, you know, that you can see this type of stuff happening, man. But let's keep watching.
What I think is often misleading about that characterization is allowed to be sort of messy and complicated. But in that framing, when you split them up into these wholly discrete constructs, study scholars, and really more specific, and femaleness, they both are and they aren't. I'd be and femaleness, both in humans and in lots of other animals.
So are gender and sex two different things, or?
Well, I think that they both are and they aren't. I'm comfortable saying that gender and sex are two different constructs, but they're deeply intertwined with each other.
We're talking about gender and sex, and there's a lot of controversies there. If we're talking about a trans woman has all of the male physical characteristics, so would that not be a male then? Couldn't we plainly say this person is a male?
Well, I guess it's like, why are you asking the question? I think I want to understand sort of why that's so important. So if someone tells
Just
you...
to sort of understand reality, you know?
Well, I mean, I think when someone tells you who they are, you should believe them. So if a person says that they're a woman or they're a man, then that's them telling you their gender is.
See, like, it's... And you find a lot of these people are very soft, man. These people, and you know, man, the university, man, makes you soft. You go to university, like I have a family member who's at uni. We talk about it. You get some real soft fucking people up at uni, man, because they have no real like way of operating around. Because remember, people are all about status in this world, all right. You see, you hear all these red pill people talk about people trying to gain status in the world, okay. And you know, when you're in university, man, you tend to conform with these things and submit to it. Don't think too much about it. Try to appease people's feelings and just you said he's that. Of course he's that. No, of course, because you said it. Instead of just sitting there being like, nah, bro, you're mistaken, or you clearly are fucked. Let's keep playing.
Right. So
And I know this is a fucking. It's already so jarring to listen to. I was actually gonna put 3 clips, but I'd rather just reference one if you fucking feel like it. No, you're gonna. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. You know, I would, but you know, I wouldn't. I want to show you 2 clips, in this in this video, just to show you like just some clips from this documentary, which is called "What Is a Woman?"
or what social interactions would have to do with maleness or femaleness that we.
Well, I'm not even talking about social context. I'm just trying to start by getting to the truth. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really uncomfortable with that language of like getting to the truth again in social life.
He's very uncomfortable with that language. Get the truth. What the fuck, man? How the fuck are you uncomfortable with? Is that not the whole point of what? What the fuck? This is a professor, man. This is a fucking uni professor. I'd be a so-called gender studies one, all right. But the point is, man. He's in an institute of education. He's teaching. People are going out of their fucking way, paying all this money to go learn from this fucking idiot. My goodness.
Why is that uncomfortable?
Because it sounds actually deeply transphobic to me. And if you keep probing, we're going to stop the interview.
If I probe about what the truth is?
You keep invoking the word truth, which is condescending and rude. I'm saying to you...
How is the word truth condescending and rude?
Why don't you tell me what your truth is, and you're walking on 30 seconds more of thin ice before I get up.
What my truth is? Well, I don't think I really have a truth. I think that there's just the truth, like the reality. And so we should begin by trying to figure out what the reality is.
And why are you concerned with when someone else tells you that they're a man or even if they use the word male, why are you concerned with not believing them?
There's nothing to do with these little questions. Why are you concerned with not believing them? Hey, well, let's see what Matt Walsh says.
Well, you keep bringing it back to, how do you respond in a social situation? But,
That's what I do. I'm a social scientist.
Well, right, but we're in a university. This is a place of understanding truth, isn't it? Or
absolutely, we pursue truth, and I'm a social scientist, and that's what I do.
But you just said the truth is transphobic.
That you would say if you're saying the truth is that I get to say you're not a man, show me your genitalia, that's transphobic.
No, I don't want to see anybody's genitalia. I just mean someone can make a statement about themselves that could be untrue. Like, for example, if I were to say that I'm a black man, would you accept that, or would you be skeptical?
Are you black? Are you African American? Are you biracial?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, you don't look that, and I don't think it doesn't sound like that's a genuine statement of who you are.
So all of a sudden, the truth matters, right?
Okay, so that's my point. I could make a statement about who I am that's incorrect.
Of course, I think it's well established that human beings can lie, yes.
Or not even lie. I mean, I could just be mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure where you're going.
I guess this all comes down to really one question. Especially women, gender and sexuality studies. So what is a woman?
Why do you ask that question?
I just really like to know.
What do you think the answer to that question is?
Well, I'm asking. That's why I came to a college professor who's this is what you do.
What other kinds of answers have you gotten?
A lot of like this, where you're not answering, and I've got a lot of that. So
I think it's interesting that you say that some of the people you've interviewed have been reluctant to answer it, and I think that has a lot to do with the questions that preceded it, and the way that you've conducted yourself in the interview.
How have I conducted myself?
How do you think you've conducted yourself?
You just really don't want to answer the questions, do you?
I came today very willing and enthusiastic about answering questions about women and gender sexuality studies, which is the work that I do.
You see, they'll do that, man. They'll be like, oh, so I wanted to answer these questions. I wanted to have a dialogue with you. The truth is, they wanted you to ask stupid fucking questions like, how important is it for you to be a professor and talking about. They don't want to ask. They don't want to get to the real questions, man. They don't want to get to the nitty gritty, so to speak. This basic fucking question has absolutely fucked them up. Not be able to define a woman, man. This is the world we live in, man. This is the fucking world that we are right now being held in captivity in, man. Like, in a sense of every nation right now is ruling in some way or another, mimicking after the ways and customs of Babylon the Great, aka America. And yeah, there'll be places like China who don't even want no effeminate men to be on TV. But we don't even know how long they'll last. And that might just be for this, that might actually be forever. I say forever, but not forever and ever. But for the time period, for this age, for this ion, all right, for this ion, in other words, the age, until of course the end. It could be that because they're trying to breed some men to be soldiers, all right, for that, for the Valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat. But what we can at least, we can at least say that they're still trying to take part in that merchandise, because ultimately everyone is looking out for Babylon the Great in some way or another. And one of the ways that, other nations are, I should say really, when I say nations, I mean the way the world looks at nations, because ultimately nations goes back to sea lines. But if you look at the expansion of the Roman Empire, including America, let's go EU, the rest of NATO, whatever. All right, so these nations take part in the same thing. All right, places in the world what they get down with this. I believe India is also getting down with all this shit, man. So people trying to get down with the ways of Babylon, man. All right, this is Revelation 17:1, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. All right, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of a fornication. And when you go to verse 15, the many waters is actually talking about nations, multitude, and tongues. So again, the whore, Babylon the Great, sits upon many nations. Okay? All the nations are heaped up to Babylon, man. All nations conform to us. Again, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. All right? And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of a fornication. In other words, the doctrine. All right? That's what the wine is referring to. Doctrines, man. They're drunk with the Babylonian wine. This is Isaiah 29:9. So I'll bring this out whenever I usually make reference of the wine of Babylon. I usually go to this scripture, Isaiah 29:9. Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. So Isaiah 29:9 makes it clear, man, that though they're not actually with strong drink, they're not consuming strong drink. Literally, they're drunken because they have that spiritual wine in them, man. And this is, of course, referring to our people, and the whole world has done so with the wine of Babylon, man. All right.
You wanted to answer questions about women's studies, and so shouldn't the first answer you should be able to provide is what exactly is a woman?
Well, for me, it's actually a really simple answer, and that's a person who identifies as a woman.
But what are they?
You see that shit? What does the word chair mean? A chair. What does the word random mean? Something that is random. If you're going to use a definition of a word, you can't use the fucking word in the definition. And that's a basic fucking thing to understand. And this is a fucking professor in a fucking university, man. This shit is fucking so cringe, man.
Identifying as
a woman.
But what is that?
As a woman.
Do you know what a circular definition is?
I do.
It's sort of like what you're doing right now, where a woman is a woman.
Mm-hmm. Well, because you're seeking what we would call in my field of work an essentialist definition of gender. I think it sounds like you would like me to give you a set of biological or cultural characteristics that are associated with one gender or the other.
I'm not seeking any type of definition. I'm just seeking a definition.
Yeah, and I gave you one.
Well, now I can say I've been to college. Glad I didn't pay for it.
Yeah, man. And because that dipshit couldn't do it, this is from Etim Online. Woman, noun, adult, female, human. All right. It says literally woman, man. It says there, women. Alteration of with, man. Woman, female servant. Oh, would you look at that? So it seems like there is some level of, some culture form of, how do I say it? I don't fucking know. Clearly, there's a lot to the word woman already that relates to basically the order, her place within a societal construct. Okay. A woman is a female servant. It's right there, man. All right, compound of wife, with, woman, see wife, plus man, human being. Okay. So that's let's go ahead. When you go into things like male or female, when you go into Genesis 1, let me get it. No, not Genesis 1. It's going to be Genesis 2 I'm talking about. Forgive me. It's going to be like 2 and 29? Like, they even 29 verses, 25 verses only. Forgive me. I'm lost there. It might actually be Genesis 1. Forgive me. It might actually be Genesis 1. 26. There you go. Okay, there you go. So let's start here. Just Genesis 1 and 26. And the Most High said, O Allahayim, and Allahayim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. That says, so Allahayim created man in his own image. In the image of the Most High created he him. Male and female created he them. So you can see the word male and female there. The word for male is going to be zakar. But I can't remember what. Naqwa or something like that. Naqwaba. So the word for male, let's get that. Zakar, means male of humans and animals. So a male gorilla. All right, male giraffe. So it's going to be inherent that a male for a human, for example, is going to be a man. Okay, male is just a term for that type of form of sexual reproductive capability for any type of creature. Okay, let's get to the word woman. Sorry, female. I'm sorry. The word for female is nakoba, which goes into female, woman, female child, female animal. See, basically, the female is the other side of the reproductive capabilities, right? So one has the seed, one takes the seed, okay? It's not that fucking complicated, right? You don't need to go to fucking university to listen to this dweeb to fucking find anything like that out, man. But that's the point, man. You see, this whole thing of progressive and shit. This is people are moving on to becoming complete idiots. But this is the world we live in, man. All right, let's get the scriptures, man. 1 Corinthians 3:18. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. All right, wise in this world. If you're wise, you gotta. People in the world start calling you wise. You might have to. Like, damn, what am I doing wrong? Okay. Just for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. Excuse me. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, which is in Job 5:13. So that the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, because what this world promotes as wisdom is not real wisdom, man. Right? Because it's ruled by the wicked. The customs of this world is fucking wicked. So how is that wisdom? All right, verse 20, and again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. There you go. Their thoughts are vain, man. Their thoughts are idle, worthless. No profit whatsoever. So why conform to them, man? Let's say 1 Corinthians 2:6. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, right? Yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. Let's get that word. All right, the word for not is the word katargeo, which means to render idle. There you go, to render worthless. All right, and to cause a personal thing to have no further efficiency. To render idle, unemployed, inactivate, inoperative, to deprive of force, influence, or power, to cause to cease, put an end to, do away with, annul, abolish. There you go. This word translates to abolish, destroy, do away, all these things here, man. So basically to have no profit at the end, man. Okay. So, it's contrary, man. This world is contrary to the Most High. So why would we take joy in the ways of this world? 1 Corinthians 1:19. So 1 verse 19. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. I will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Right? That the scriptures go into, man. Is there no more prudence in Teman? Roughly paraphrase. I'm not sure exactly how it was written, but because these damn devils, all right, the red man in Genesis 25, man, they are renowned in this world for having wisdom, and they do have wisdom, man. Don't get twisted, man. They're wiser than Daniel, but they're wise to do more wickedness on this earth, man. That's what they're about, and the wisdom they promote and the institution of learning, it's all bullshit. All right, you might find some good stuff in there. Hey, man, I doubt it, but maybe there's some stuff in so-called gender studies that might actually be interesting shit. I doubt it heavily, man. I really do. I don't think there's anything you could learn in there. I'd be shook if I found even a little bit of meat amongst that gigantic bone. But, we'll have to just I ain't trying to go into that fucking, into the curriculum, so to speak. We'll have to just move on past that. But either way, man, look, there's gonna be stuff out there. He has his truth. He's gonna do things like hide the truth, the wickedness in plain sight. This is what he is. He's wise. His wisdom is to do evil things. All right. And our people, the scriptures go into us being wise to do evil, but to do good we have no understanding. All right, so we follow after them easily, man, because he's wicked, and so are most of our people. It says, where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Right? Hath not the Most High made foolish the wisdom of this world? Most certainly. Okay. Most certainly. That the wisdom of this world is not real wisdom, man. Okay. All right, Ecclesiasticus 19 and 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. All right. That's very clear, man. The wisdom of this world is not real wisdom, basically. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. Right, again, man, this whole thing about changing of kind, let's get the scripture, man. Really, there's a lot to read here, but I'll get straight to the point. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 26. Disquieting of good men, forget, maybe we should go up, man. Goodness. I'm gonna go straight. I'm gonna start at 22 just because it's there. It seems like a good place to start. Hopefully it is. Now it says, moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of the Most High. But whereas they lived in the great war of ignorance, those so great plagues called they peace. For whilst they slew their children in sacrifices, right? And another thing that because I'm not gonna bring the clip up where this woman, this fucking crazy bitch called Dr. Forcier, whatever the fuck, Forcier. This bitch, man, she was talking about how, cause she worked in, so-called Planned Parenthood. She works, she's a pediatrician, mind you. See, she's got fucking, she's so-called qualified, man. And she deals with children, giving them things to block the natural function of puberty to make them actually grow and blossom, man. And she was getting all offended because Matt Walsh called it a drug. And it's known as chemical castration. Certain sex offenders be giving it, man. Hey, this is a serious fucking thing, for people to be questioning. And that bitch was getting all offended. Showed you that they ain't ready for the questions, man. Because, of course, they ain't got no answers. Okay. This is for whilst they slew their children in sacrifices or used secret ceremonies or made revelings of strange rites. Okay, because our people were doing that, as well as the other nations, man. Our people were following after the other nations doing that. That's what went down. Sacrificing children, man. And what they were doing up in abortion clinics, man, that was basically a form of child sacrifice, man. For, basically the different manner in which they would do for Moloch and for idols, man. Now, says they kept their neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled, but neither one slew another treacherously or grieved him by adultery, so that there reigned in all men without exception blood, manslaughter, theft, and dissimulation, corruption, unfaithfulness, tumults, perjury. I mean, this sounds like the word right now. It says disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good turns, defiling of souls. Watch this. Changing of kind. All right? Changing of kind, man. Disorder in marriages, adultery, and shameless uncleanness. Changing of kind is something that we see in the scriptures, showing you that this, though it's not necessarily, new, it was brought more to in attention, and there were some individuals who had, began doing such so-called studies, if you can call it that, so-called research, fucking projects of all manner of wickedness. Alfred Kinsey and John Money, if you look at these individuals, I'm not looked too into them because, again, I don't really, just can't really look into them, man. Shit's too vexing. But it's definitely something to bring out. Because, a lot of things we tend to overlook, basically, a lot of things. In other words, like things that we hear, things that we, that we have taken up as a regular custom. When I say we, I should be more clear. Things that the Western world take as a custom in this earth, man. All right, because right, realistically, the men of the body, all right, we're weighing down with all this fucking shit, man. But the people of the world, that's what they're about, man. The people of the world, they're about just conforming to these things. They don't even know about the origins. They don't even know the foundation that was laid. Okay, it was sown in wickedness. Wickedness should only be reaped. And you can say what you want, man, but you can see very clearly if you have the eyes to see, man. The other clip I want to show you is actually this individual, this woman who actually had the surgery thereof. Okay, and now of course she's speaking up on how it's a big mistake. Okay, and she's talking about what basically how it really is, man. Let's listen.
For the first time in history, a marginalized group has a huge dollar sign on the top of their head. We have 5 children's hospitals in the United States promoting that.
What?
That's a phalloplasty. That's a bottom surgery. We have 5 children's hospitals in the United States telling girls that they can be boys at $70,000 a pop in a surgery that has a 67% complication rate. That will kill me.
Hey, man. Don't listen to me. Listen to her. And look at that, man. Like, it made to appear as a male. Fucking crazy, man. And that's what these so-called doctors, so-called teachers, really, that's what the word doctor means. That's what they're really about, trying to get that go up. 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all evil. For the love of money is the root of all evil. I think I said it wrong. I'm not sure. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith. Some of these people who do such surgery might claim they believe in the Bible, man. I don't know for sure, but I won't be surprised. You know, let's be honest, man. Christianity is the worst doctrine going. That's a serious fucking big time delusion where everything basically goes, but as long as you believe in Jesus, fucking, you know, as long as you claim that you love God, you go to church on Sunday. Some people don't even do that, which is good. Really, don't fucking do that. But it's just, you know. But as it reads, man, 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, man. So the love of money, all right, is the root of all evil that happens. So remember that if whatever someone's doing for man of evil, just remember, man, the root of his intentions is all about him trying to get money. So which was some covered after. The scriptures that, let me get it. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There's not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such a one setteth his own soul to sale. Because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. And so scripture says, you know, that there's not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. All right. Now see, you know, it says for such a one setteth his own soul to sell, man. People selling their soul away to get their desires, man. Which again is money, because that's the number one idol people worship in this world. You know, they be worshiping their mammonas, their riches. And what did Yahweh Shai say? Get it real quick. Matthew 6 and 24. No man can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve the Most High and mammon. And that word is mammonas in Greek, meaning riches and wealth. You cannot serve both, man. All right, Sirach 10 and 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such a one setteth his own soul to sale. Because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels, going into his bowels of mercy. All right, they don't consider, man, because they're so covetous, and there's nothing more wicked than that, man. So greedy, they don't have any mercy, man. They don't have any feelings of love or consideration. Okay, so they don't mind. Hey, man, if you're a child, you go ahead. You give me that money, I get that guap. Yeah, I'll give you this fucking surgery, even if you get fucked up. That's what they're about, man.
87% complication rate. That will kill me from infection that I can't sue on. We're butchering a generation of children because nobody's willing to talk about anything.
That's a heavy judgment right there. Heavy judgment, man.
I have 3 kids.
What the fuck, man? Damn, that changes a lot, man.
At the age that they're doing this to kids. I'm not transphobic. I love my kids, and I love other people's kids, and you should too. This is wrong on so many levels.
All right, so you know that clip. As you can see, man, that woman was very emotional, of course, man, you know, because clearly there's no way you could tell her otherwise, right? She's living it. She's living the side effects. She's living the harsh reality of all this bullshit of changing of kind, man. But if you give these devils money, they'll do it, man. Because that's what they want. That's what they want, the riches, man. They want to heap up the resources. Of course, ultimately, the real people who are reaping up all the resources is the elites, right? The top, high level, all right, red people of Genesis 25. They're the ones that are really getting rich off of all this. All right. But I'm ending this video here. Adam Ratazar, this video was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ruach Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and labor in this word and doctrine. Shalom.